in a world crying out for a top 10 show. John Roca and Matt Nost are here to bring you the top 10. Take it away, boys. Welcome, everybody, to this week's edition of the Top 10 Show. I am John Roca.
I am Matt Nost.
And this week is one of those weeks we reserve for our Boss Hog patrons. They get to choose a topic. And this week, we are choosing a topic, or we chose a topic from the security of the first world of the Top 10 Show. That's Matthew Hasso down there in Houston, Texas. Mm-hmm. Matthew, thank you so much. What's he selected? Matt.
He selected for us final battles in a movie.
Top 10 final battles in a movie.
Yes.
No clarification. Could be any kind of battle.
I didn't see any clarification beyond that.
All right.
Well, how did you set the definition for yourself?
I didn't. I was like, whatever a battle can be. Could be a rap battle. Could be a... Could be a physical battle, could be a mental battle, could be any kind of battle. So since he didn't clarify, I purposely did that so I could fuck with Hasso because I know he's a big martial artist guy. And so I know he'd want to see all kinds of fights on the list. So just to mess with him a little bit, I might have or might not have chosen things that aren't necessarily fight battles.
Okay. So you put a lot of... I was more thinking... on a granular level that...
a granular level?
Well, it's either... It's binary to me. It's option one or option two. Option one is you allow in all actual fighting. But option two is... if it's a battle, it's two forces on some level. You can winnow it down and dance around telling the same story. And it's like over here, it's just a few people. And over here, it's 100 people type of thing or whatever. But if it ends up the final battle is technically like mano a mano, that doesn't count as a battle to me.
Oh, interesting.
That's an epic fight.
Okay.
But that is not a battle. If it's one dude against like 100 and he beats all 100, sure, I'll give you that.
Okay.
But it's got to be in the fight. It's just,
So like Kill Bill, like her against all those people, that's not a battle.
that would count.
That would count.
Because it's her taking on a huge numbers. But if it's, say, like a standard Western where it's two gunslingers at the end.
Yeah.
Or like Heat. Because ultimately the final fight is between the two of them.
Yeah, it is. It is.
The shootout is awesome.
Okay.
But I was like, well, that's not the final battle. The actual battle itself technically is the final fight between the two of them. That determines who wins or loses this equation.
Okay. I may not have adhered to that.
That was just my coming into it. I was just like, I want...
Totally respect that.
Not epic scale, but scale of some kind.
Yeah.
And I tried to... I don't think I really violated that all that much.
Okay. I think I leaned. I think there's maybe one or two where it's mano a mano, and one of them is probably going to be a controversial choice, but I don't care.
Okay,
there you go.
What is it, Rocky and Apollo?
No, I didn't put that.
You went with the first one?
No, I didn't put any of that. But
Dude, is a battle with society? It is a battle with socioeconomic status in this country.
It is. It totally
identity.
You done?
You justify it however you want to. But I saw no clarification from Hasso.
All right, fair. I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right. So at the end of the list, we'll read Hasso's list as we after we compile ours. But how are you doing, man? How are things? Let's check in for a little bit. Let the fans get to know what's going on in your world.
You missed your calling as an afternoon DJ.
Totally.
Right, what's going on with your world? Let me know.
Oh, I'm not done. I think there's still time.
555-97 Rock. Give me a call.
Talk to me.
You already have the hook.
It's true.
The Outlaw from 3 to 7 this afternoon.
That's a sad thing that'll end up happening. I was
you
the
have
Outlaw.
You have to do Country Station.
You
have to.
Oh, of course. I have to. Coming up after the break, we've got one of those classics from Waylon Jennings. But until then, give me a call. Let me know what's going on in your world. We'll talk to you.
Yeah,
after
exactly.
This.
Send a tweet to @theoutlaw 97 Rock. Let us know what you're thinking out there.
97 Country. Tell me what's going on. Shit, I'll probably end up back in Virginia. God damn it. All right, we'll see. Anyway.
It's all right, though. You'll be living the high life in Virginia, so it don't matter. It don't matter.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're what's going on? You just did the stand-up? How did that go? Some people
it was a good
came
show.
Out to see you. Mark Ellis and friends. You were one of the friends.
Yeah, he had a nice lineup put together, and I think everybody was the perfect length for a show.
Yeah.
Right around 90, 95 minutes. I mean, if it's a really good night,
Yeah.
great. A show can go 2.5.
Right.
Something like that, sometimes 3. But by and large, you play the numbers.
Yeah.
It's like a good action movie. This thing does not need to be 2:15 most nights, especially, if it's a weekend, yes. Weekday, people will have to get up the next day, even if it's a Thursday night. They may have a couple drinks, but they still got shit to do tomorrow.
Yeah. And it was a Thursday night.
Yeah.
I was going to go, man. I totally planned on going, but then they offered me the Rambo screening with the chance to interview Stallone the next day. So I was like, I got to take
do
this.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to do it.
So that was pretty cool. But,
Ain't no thing. Yeah, I didn't know any of, Riley was there, and I was like, I didn't know you were coming. I saw Rachel downstairs. I assumed I'd see some faces.
Yeah.
But, I knew, I don't know, like 8-10 people.
Sam Levine, was he there too with Rachel? Or was she there by herself? Did you see Rachel
I did not
Cushing?
see Sam or Rachel.
Oh, you meant Rachel Silvestrini.
Yes.
Yes, you saw her. Okay, sorry. I thought you meant Rachel Cushing, so my bad.
No.
I get them both confused all the time when people say Rachel. So Josh McCouga, Ken Knapsack, and
Justine Marino, Candace Thompson,
Right.
Mark Ellis.
that's it. That was the lineup.
Crushing it out right there for you.
Cool, man.
Yeah, it was a nice night. Everybody's doing just, 10,
Yeah.
and then Ellis does whatever to close. And I apologized in advance, and I was like, man, I'm not going to sit in there and watch anybody's set, so I hope you have a great set, and I'll see you, once you get off, I'll be downstairs.
That's Matt Knows for you, ladies and gentlemen.
That's every comic in the world.
Just tell me what time I'm supposed to show up. I'm going to show up right before. I'm going to do my thing, and then I get to leave afterwards.
I'll be hanging out.
That is Matt Knows.
You want to come down? That is every comic in the world. No comic sits and watches a show.
Really?
Never.
Wow.
It is super rare.
Chappelle mentioned that, right? In his stand-up, he was saying, like, I don't stay to watch other comics because comedy is like your... Oh, no, he said it in his epilogue. Comedy is like your woman, and you don't want to watch someone else...
Yeah, do it wrong. Fuck it wrong.
Yeah, fuck it wrong. And I was like, wow.
It's true.
Okay.
See guys lose a show sometimes and you're like, dude, they were so good until you.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. An overall show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because you were up there for 15, you lost them early, and now it's going to be an uphill battle to get them back because they've had 12 minutes of, I don't fucking like you.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Jesus, man.
Where do you find the balance in that? Because it's like, you comics always say, like, you haven't really done anything until you bombed on stage. Like a lot of comics say that's. But then if you bomb on stage, you could be ruining a whole show. You don't blame the guy or girl when they bomb, or do you what do you do? How do you walk the line?
Anymore, no. Like where any comic starts out, when you're bombing, you're all bombing together because you suck. They're shitty shows.
Yeah, gotcha.
So it's just a festival of bombs. It's bad. And every once again, somebody will have like a spark of something, and you're like, John's figured it all out, guys.
Yeah, right.
We're over here. We're just not doing it. It's different. I've seen people bomb intentionally, and they didn't like where it was going, and then turned on the audience.
Oh, wow.
And do 40 of fuck you. I've seen it.
40 minutes?
Yeah, I've
of
seen
fuck
it like
you?
3-4 times.
Wow.
You're like, this was not their fault.
Whew.
And you just sucked in the show.
Wow.
And instead of accepting it early on and trying to figure out another way, you just turned on them because you brought your demons from somewhere else.
Right.
And fucking just laid it at their feet.
Wow.
Yeah. Something like that, yeah. But if somebody has a bad set, it's like, that sucks.
Yeah.
If they do it all the time, it's like, well, why are you getting these spots?
Right.
But if it's a once in a blue moon, it's just like, I don't, whatever you're going through.
Yeah.
But it's pretty rare.
Wow.
It does happen.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, I really wanted to come see it. Sadly,
Still though, Rambo.
Yeah, that was great, and he was very nice. Got 8 minutes with him by accident. Supposed to only have 5.
Nice.
I asked the last question. He went on for 2.5 minutes about Rocky, and I think by the time people hear this, maybe it'll have dropped on Collider. If not, look for it soon on the
last
YouTube
question?
page. It was, "Are we done? Have we seen the last of Rocky Balboa?"
Really?
Yeah.
That's simplistic? I was expecting you to go deep like pull something out?
Oh, I did on the earlier questions. Like I asked him about how Rambo is more proactive in this movie than he's ever been before, and he really appreciated that question actually. And we had like a back and forth about it. Okay. And then that was the deep one, but that one at the end, I mean, I kind of had to ask about Balboa. And then he went on, and I can't spoil it yet, just in case. But like he went on and on about it and spoke about what may or may not be happening for the character, which was great. But then I interviewed the two girls. But after I was done, I thought I was done. I was walking out, and his publicist comes up to me and she goes, "Stallone's asked you to stay. He wants you to interview him again with the ladies." So I got to interview him again. I was like one of 4 or 5 people got chosen out of everybody who interviewed him that day, who got to ask him got to ask him some more questions. So, dude, meant the fucking world to me.
How could it not?
Aside from The Rock, there's no one else that would. Maybe Tom Cruise would be the closest next thing, but Sylvester Stallone he's just been in my life longer, and it's meant so much.
There
to me.
are a handful,
where
you have a greater pull over your contemporaries because I fell in love with you do. Right. I would be just as enamored to meet them on some level, but you, it's a different.
Right.
I would love to sit down and have an honest conversation with Mel Gibson.
Oh, yeah.
This is never going to be recorded, man. I just want to talk for like 3-4 hours.
Yeah.
Ease you into it. Where are you from? Oh, yeah. Like, what was the moving like? I moved a bunch as a kid.
Right.
Find commonality, and then just like, what was it like? Where did your perspective on the world around you change?
Right.
And you now knew you were a celebrity. You lead a different existence from the rest of us. Like, I'm not judging the choices you made.
Right.
Because I didn't live it.
Right.
Like when Russell Crowe went off the deep end and started throwing phones at people.
Yeah.
And everything we've seen says he seems like a good enough guy. Probably has a temper. He's used to getting things his way, but by and large, it seems like a good bloke.
Yeah. I know I'm in the minority on this, but I find it fascinating that people who won't even come close to achieving the genius of what other people do feel the need to be superior to those people, and I find that to be fascinating. Like it's Tuesday, I can't ruin it, but something happened during a match recently, and Mel Gibson came up, and both people felt the need to shit on them. Both people who will never fucking achieve what this guy achieved felt the need to be sanctimonious and superior, and it pissed me off on so many levels. And I was just like, go fuck yourself. Like, I get it, right? I get it from a certain angle. If you're a Jewish person, the stuff he said, absolutely. But like, neither one of them that I know of are Jewish, but felt the need to like make a big deal about it. Mm-hmm.
We already had the witch trial, and these people are like, this pyre's going out. Let me throw, just one log on that fire. Keep it going. Remember, everybody, it's a eternal flame vigil.
Yeah.
We got to keep reminding ourselves. I mean, on the one hand, yes, I understand why you're doing it. On the other, it's not like the guy's in our life anymore.
Well, I mean, he kind of is.
Kind of.
He's trying to be, certainly, yes. And he certainly was nominated for Best Director, a couple of years ago for Heartbreak Ridge. So he's still in the area. But I also think he went to trial. He got his punishment. He did his thing.
Served his time.
He served his time. And he has some people who defend him, like Jodie Foster, who other people revere like crazy. So how come her opinion doesn't carry weight with you if you want to get all sanctimonious?
Probably because she may have seen him go on one of these spiels on a drunken bender one night and be like, oh, you did that number in Cabo. I remember this.
I didn't know you pulled this one out.
Yeah. Oh, I love this tune.
It's one of your greatest hits.
It is. It's track 3. It's right when you're in a good groove. I fucking love it. Yeah, I know. I understand the outrage, but at the same time, he did his time.
Yeah.
We all collectively gave him shit and shunned him.
Yeah.
And he did his acts of contrition.
Yeah.
And worked hard to get back and just wants to make stories.
And one of these people was being sanctimonious. A lot of the women in a certain thing are upset at him for the way he's been treating them. So it's like, you want to get sanctimonious, you need to take a good goddamn look at yourself. So I'm just put it out there.
Casting that first stone is never a good idea.
Right, exactly. I certainly got burned by it recently, and if anyone's listening who maybe knows about it, I made a comment. like this one of the hosts of this Star Wars Resistance broadcast, Lacey. I've been on the show once, and they're really sweet people. And Lacey and I had a fun back and forth about Kylo Ren and him being redeemed or not redeemed in Star Wars Episode 9. And so we'd had a playful back and forth on Twitter with GIFs, like going back and forth with GIFs, just having fun. And I brought it up on, or they brought it up on Jedi Council. They asked, should he be redeemed? And I went off on a playful mini tirade, and I was like, no. And people like Lacey, like, oh, he should be redeemed because his dad would have wanted him to be redeemed. And so people played that clip and took it out of context, and it looks like I'm making fun of Lacey as a woman for feeling this way. And so someone tweeted at me about it, and I tweeted back joking about a person tweeted at me. I did not know the gender of this person. Tweeted at me about Kylo and said and used that alternating caps thing, which implies that you're an idiot and your take is right. Exactly. So
it's fucking great.
Exactly.
I love that.
So it baited me, and I tweeted back and said, "Oh yeah, you people, you and people like you just for Kylo because you like his smoldering pecs or his eyes and his pecs." And I was joking, and I put the eye roll. And I was just joking, like, oh, playful back and forth, because she basically called me an idiot on their original tweet. So I was pushing back and being playful. Well, people took it and were like, oh, you're being misogynist, you're being sexist. And I was like, holy shit. And it went off on like a fire, like all day. And I was just like blocking people and muting people left and right. Because I'm like, I'm not going to have that toxicity on my feed. And it was like, I had no intention because I didn't know the person was a woman who tweeted at me. And it was like, oh my God, I got put on the pyre, man, and set on fire. And I haven't experienced that in forever, Matt.
Still, though, no intention is a lie. Because
what do you mean?
If you ever respond in that capacity, any given point online, there is always a chance that it can do this. You carry that risk.
Oh, sure.
That's a fair point. Incendiary attack on your end.
Absolutely.
So to be like, never expected this, be like, well, you kind of had to on some level know that.
I thought I'd get pushback, but I didn't intend for the sexist or misogynist.
Does this bother you? I didn't even think about it.
No. The sexist or misogynist, they have to clean it afterwards, but don't worry about it.
That's fine. Listen, that seems like an even bargain. I got no problem with that.
Yeah. No.
By the way, I took my pants off for those listening. Just sitting in a chair.
Just clean the chair.
Just enjoying myself, dude. It's a nice night out. You got the windows open.
That's true. It's a Sunday night. Relaxing.
I kept the shirt on because that's mostly what you're seeing. To keep it somewhat normal here.
But anyway, I didn't expect the sexist or misogynist thing, and I was just like so blown away by that because I had no intent. I wasn't attacking any gender or anything like that. I was just trying to have and I kept saying, no, I was ball busting. I was being playful. And a lot of the female critics were like, you should just shut up and listen when a woman's telling you you're being misogynist. I'm like, of course, but also by the other side, I wasn't being it wasn't my intention. So finally someone near the end of this whole thing, it lasted for hours, near the end of it said, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and assume you didn't know the abuse the people who have been fighting for Kylo Ren to be redeemed online have taken. And she posted a meme, and I was like, oh shit, well, no, I didn't. Thanks for taking the time to explain it to me. I so apologize if I added in any way to that. It certainly wasn't my intention, but I could see how it could be taken that way. So I'm sorry. So, and that's all I needed is someone just explain where all this anger was coming from.
Yeah.
Because I had no idea. I really legitimately had no clue that people are coming after these people just because they want Kylo to be redeemed.
I love because they have this one random opinion about a movie.
Yeah.
They're part of the oppressed. And now they are lashing out.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, that's fictional. You can just disengage from the conversation and that oppression goes away. So that's not true oppression.
I kept trying to say that it was like, it's not a real character. There is real sexism in the world. This is just a character.
Exactly.
But
is it a representation at times? Perhaps.
Right. And that's where their contention was.
We're trying to dilute that over time, but to hold it up to a fucking perfect moralistic standard is never going to work. Never.
Yeah.
If we made everything milquetoast, we would not have movies because nobody would go to see them if they're just boring.
True.
Yeah. The villain is completely fucking black, and the hero is, it's black and white. I'm not saying the hero needs to be white.
Right.
But those do better in box office, so we might as well just keep that going, guys. I got to keep my people working.
Black Panther, man.
I got to keep my people. Whatever it happens. I'm not saying no.
Right.
But I'm saying, what about us?
Anyways,
we will get to a time where there's more general white guy outrage. As opposed to
there already is. Are you kidding?
I know.
Please.
But to where people would take it seriously and be like, come on, guys, we've been the villains now for 2 centuries of movies.
I think that's what's funny is seeing people get so angry. Like Christian gets angry sometimes, dude. I'm so tired of this white man narrative. I'm like, look, it's only been a year or two.
I know.
Man. Like deal with it for a little bit and then roll back on it.
It just becomes basically lazy stand-in for newest. It used to be Russians. It used to be this.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So it's just now we make it. I kind of gone back to using the Russians a little bit too.
Yeah.
But it's just a shorthand for villain. And you know what? It's our turn to be the punching bag. I'm more than happy for it. I just want it to be interesting.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I don't really give a shit who does what role. I just want it to be,
interesting.
All-female cast, great.
Yeah.
Make a good movie.
Got no problem with that. Absolutely.
Transgender director with a gender fluid lead actress, or
them or they or them.
Do we have to change that pronoun?
Yeah, we do.
Or that name
for people who are identifying that way. Yes, we have to change that pronoun.
Why?
Because they have requested it. So in the business that I'm in, I have to change the pronoun.
No. But I'm saying for actor or actress.
Oh, actor, actress. No, you can do whatever you want. Some people prefer actor. Some female actresses prefer actor. Some female actresses prefer actress.
Yes,
it just all depends.
But now are we going to change something like that technically there is a male and female within it? Are we going to have a third, an actor, something, actressor?
Ooh, that's
weird. That is the
sounds like a dinosaur.
Third choice.
No, I think actor's supposed to cover all. It's not supposed to be singularly male.
So we just cut off actress.
Well, there are some people that contend that. There are some people that contend that.
I could see that. A case we made.
And there are some people who want to combine the genders into one for the Oscars. So it's a best actor, period. And I find both sides of it have compelling arguments. I don't know where there's times where I'm like, that makes sense. And then other times where I'm like, no, it's good to have the separation because you don't know what the voting body is going to do. What if there's 9 men and 1 woman nominated? It's like, shit. And would that influence people to nominate more women over men or men over women, depending on their particular point of view or what have you? It could lead to that. So that's my concern, I guess, to a degree. But I see the points of both sides. But anyway, I learned my lesson about the Kylo Ren thing, and so if anybody's listening who's maybe still upset about it, I do apologize.
Why don't we just
understand? So
take all of them and put them in like a March Madness bracket, and as the show's going on, we bring out 2. They're head to head. They both have to act the same scene, and then we judge.
Oh my God!
Boom! We like you better, Anne Hathaway. You're moving on. And they play for the mega Oscar at the end.
That's not a bad idea. If you could have some utopian acting competition.
You both give me the same scene. I can experience them anew each time.
Meryl Streep versus Daniel Day-Lewis.
Exactly. You both now have to do whatever the part is. Wow. Doesn't matter if it's man, woman. You both have to pull it off. We're just drawing from a hat.
Right.
We put in all these Shakespearean and David Mamet plays and whatever the case is. Fucking actor up. Don't give me that masked singer shit. Give me the masked actor.
I like masked actor.
But you kind of need the face to help sell the emotion.
Listen, we got to take 10% of that if it happens.
The Masked Singers, I don't understand how that show is popular.
I can't even.
I've never seen it. It seems so stupid to me.
It is the dumbest show. Just not for me.
People fake guessing every week. The celebrity. This 100% has to be Tito Jackson. Why would you?
I can tell from the body.
Why would you guess that?
That is Tito.
Is that the level of celebrity on this show? Why are you guessing that? Why wouldn't you punch up? It's J-Lo. Okay, we don't believe you, but interesting.
It's totally Tito. Anyway, now let's get into our list here. As we said way at the beginning of the show, Matthew Hasso has requested top 10 final battle scenes in movies. And so we're going to count them all down. Matt, how does this work?
Once Mr. Hasso set a topic for us, we went our individual ways and created personal top 10 lists. Show back up here. I do my bottom 3. He does his bottom 3. I do my next 2. He does his next 2. Then we trade one apiece. Once we revealed our personal top 10 list, we create the shows between the two of us.
Boom! What do you got number 10, my man?
So many choices.
Oh, there really were. I was
so many
surprised
choices
at how many there were.
We should have split the atom on this.
Yeah. But that's all right.
We could easily do comic book. We could easily do sci-fi. We could easily do war movies. We could, it can go over and over and over again.
It can.
So I tried to mix it around as best I could, too.
I did, too, but also found myself going towards a certain number of ones I couldn't resist.
Okay. I steered clear of practically of one genre.
Oh.
I have one from it.
Okay.
Which is like, I could do 5 from this.
Sounds good.
That's going to dominate the list.
Right.
So when you think battle, number 10 is an interesting form of that battle. That's why I chose it.
Okay.
Kingdom of Heaven. The director's
Oh, nice choice.
cut.
Nice choice. Okay.
That's the only thing I've seen.
Right.
I didn't see the original when it came out. Everybody said once they had the director's cut, just watch the director's cut.
Right.
I think it's a good movie. It is a good movie. It's solid throughout. It's interesting to bring these, a historical battle to light, the sacking of Jerusalem or the liberation of Jerusalem, depending on which perspective that you have in that. The only character that I know for sure was a historical character was Salah ad-Din. But beyond that, I'm not sure who on the Jerusalem side, the Orlando Bloom or Ed Norton is the king of Jerusalem.
Yeah.
Or the Eva Green is future queen of Jerusalem, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I know that the Knights Templar were there.
Yeah.
Was the head of the Knights Templar named this Frenchman? I have no idea. Mm-hmm. Salah ad-Din is the only one that I've ever heard of.
Yeah.
So, but it's just interesting. You see a siege warfare show up, and for that alone, it's right at the end. You see trebuchets firing off and ballistas.
Wow.
And you ever seen those big rolling towers where the drawbridge comes over the top and goes down over?
Yes.
So some of those, and they use what in essence is like a harpoon gun. Mm-hmm. I think the Romans had one called a scorpion, but it was a big ballista, and it just shot a harpoon into the side with rope.
Wow.
And they have two massive counterweights, and it just goes down, and they take out 5 of 6.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow. This is a lot of fun. I could watch this all day long.
Oh, shit. I'm going to have to catch that out.
What else is siege warfare like? In HD?
Yeah.
It's I wonder what is this experience like? Because most ancient battles happen in a day. They're not huge affairs like they are now for us, where the Battle of X took 3 weeks.
Right.
As you're slowly inching, forward on these things. You're just like, no, 20,000 people died, but they did it in a day.
Right.
And then they were done.
Right. Well, that's also when you don't have military tactics. That's why.
Can you imagine how to communicate to your troops on the field before radio, hand flags, and all that shit?
Smoke or whatever, or fire or whatever. Yeah.
And the chaos of war.
Yeah.
Just crazy. Or when you see guys do tactics with simple flanking maneuvers, but if you come and do this, it draws them out. And you're like, man. This is crazy because you're pinning everything on this one action. You can't tell them to change anything.
Right.
So you have one game plan. And there's no deviation.
Yeah.
I hope I thought this through. Shit. So to see a siege, and then you read the historical accounts of some sieges taking.
Right.
You just have to wait until their supplies run out. And then sometimes they fire in, rotting corpses and stuff like that.
Jesus.
But this siege in the movie only lasts a few days. But I think in real life it's 10 days.
Okay.
12 days. It's not the craziest siege of all time.
Okay.
But, Salah ad-Din manages to sack Jerusalem and take it down.
I'm going to have to watch this movie one of these days. The director's cut.
It's good.
It's supposed to be actually good. Okay. I respect it.
I would call it, let's say, out of 10, 7.5.
That's good enough for me.
Anything
Anything
somewhere in that
over
ballpark.
7, I can take a chance on.
Yeah. It might be, it doesn't work in a couple parts here and there for me.
Yeah.
And Orlando Bloom is a little too altruistic on some level. Mm-hmm. That's fine. It plays into the overall, everybody else is corrupt.
He's a fascinating guy.
He's seen the interviews with the Carnival Row stuff?
No. Is it weird? Is it weird?
I read one where someone was like, how come you never did an SNL? Yeah. And it got offered to him. He says he used to be mildly dyslexic.
Oh, shit.
Could be true.
Okay.
But I think the truer aspect is the other side. He's like, and also at that time, my fame was like being in a burning car, I believe is the metaphor he used.
Oh.
And he didn't realize beforehand that it's on fire.
Yeah.
And now in hindsight, it's like, had he known, he could have done a better job with this flaming car. But it was so fast, living a crazy lifestyle. It's like, I was too
wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I there's no chance of me doing that.
That makes sense because, he got it. He got the...
Dude, Pirates...
Well, Pirates, he got, and Lord of the Rings, he got them both right out of college.
Out the gate.
Drama school, right out of it. And then, of course, Kingdom of Heaven, another franchise, and Troy. Those big, massive, epic movies that he was in.
Over and over and over.
Right. So, and, I think he's getting married to Katy Perry, and now he's doing smaller stuff. He's a bit more...
Oh, they're engaged?
Yeah. He's a bit more picky, I guess, with stuff. So, I think that works because, he's got all that money. He is fine. It's more a matter of now he can indulge his artistic interests and take smaller projects and Gets stronger as an actor.
Perhaps.
A lot of people like him in Elizabethtown as well, which I haven't seen, that Cameron Crowe one with him.
Oh, really? I've heard nothing but bad things.
Really? Oh, okay.
Nothing but bad things.
All right. Yeah.
Never seen it, so no idea.
Yeah. It's the rare one I've missed of his.
Yeah. I've always liked Cameron Crowe, but I'm sure you're one of the people that loves Cameron Crowe.
I love, how can I say this correctly? I like his movies.
Okay.
And I love the experience of watching his movies, but I don't necessarily come back to watch his movies a lot. That's what I would say. I love the experience I'm in the theater. Almost Famous is fantastic. I think that's his best one. It's great to watch. And whenever I catch it, it's fun to watch. But like Jerry Maguire, I rarely go back and watch Jerry Maguire.
I haven't seen it since.
Say Anything, I rarely go back and watch, even though I love that movie and I love the experience. I know just about everything about that movie and I love it. I don't need to ever see it again.
Yeah. I'd rather see One Crazy Summer or...
For Cusack, you mean? Or
for Cusack. From that era, because in my head, that's how I delineate it.
Better Off Dead.
Better Off Dead. Oh. I don't think it was a Cameron Crowe. I think it was a Cusack movie.
Right. And Vanilla Sky. I think it's an uneven movie, but I still enjoy parts of it.
Well, I haven't seen that since
it came out.
Since it was out on DVD, like the first run, and somebody after they'd watched it let me borrow it, and it's like, oh, I never saw that, and then watched it, and I was like, that was weird. I might have enjoyed it more now as an adult.
Oh yeah, maybe
because it's a more philosophical, ponderous film if memory, serves.
It is certainly at the end.
And I wasn't, I was an alcoholic at the time. I did a lot of soul searching about why I was drinking. I don't need to then watch a movie asking me to do more soul searching. I plumbed those depths.
You were already in a burning car.
Exactly. I'm down in the Marianas Trench being like, guys, this is pretty deep. It's pretty deep. I don't think it goes any deeper.
I'm good. I'm good here. Just leave me here.
Yeah. You think anglerfish are bad? Trust me, there's way worse down here.
All right. What's your number 9, man? What's your number 9?
9 is not going to be on your list.
Okay.
Army of Darkness.
No, it is not on the list.
Come on, baby. I said, you know what? That was just, it popped into my head, and I'm like, oh, perfect. It is a huge, ridiculous battle.
It is.
The undead versus,
fun.
It is. It's just a lot of fun. It's a great final battle. It's something different on this list, because you could just go all one specific type of genre.
Sure.
Very easily. Just like, might as well pepper it around a little bit.
Yeah.
Easily my favorite of the three. And it's just Bruce Campbell getting to do everything that I love about Bruce Campbell in the middle of a chaotic world that somehow all makes sense because, I don't know, this is weird over here, but it has the same sheen of weirdness as this thing over here.
Yeah.
So if it's all true to itself, I allow for all the weirdness.
Yeah. What's it called again? Boom tube or something? Is that what his thing is?
Boomstick.
Boomstick. That's it. My bad. Remember getting that wrong on a Schmoedown.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I like Bruce Campbell, love Bruce Campbell, but I don't go back and see the Evil Dead movies that much, even though I remember loving the second one. I saw it in theaters. I didn't know what that was and loved it. And I liked the third one. I just don't love it as much as other people love it in this.
3 is the only one that I love.
Okay, fair enough.
1 and 2 are good.
Yeah.
I'm not taking it away from them, but I don't ever go back to rewatch you. Whereas 3, pop it on. Let's go. Which part are we at?
Maybe I should rewatch it.
When he bullshits his way through getting the Necronomicon, all the little versions of him like attacking him.
Yeah.
The fucking over the top, give me some sugar, baby. And it's this weird Elvis-like character. It's the hyperbole, the sense of cartoonish fun that they're willing to have.
Yeah.
If you're going to go back and have a Book of the Dead and there's going to be bones walking around coming back to fucking fight you and stuff. It's all tongue in cheek. This is
truth.
You don't have the budget to make a serious film, so might as well make a comedy.
That's a good point. All right, what's number 8?
8 is 13 Assassins.
Son of a bitch. That's my 7.
Okay.
Do we do it now or wait?
Might as well.
All right.
Might as well do it now.
Fucking 13 Assassins is a great goddamn movie, and the final battle is 45 fucking minutes long. It's incredible.
Well, it's 200 against 13.
Yeah, man.
And the suspension of disbelief.
Sure.
They do a good job when they partition off certain parts.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, okay, you got to cut it down to size somehow. This makes sense.
Right.
And the action is really fantastic.
It is.
Yeah, I like the comeuppance at the end where you know exactly where it's going. Mm-hmm. Solidly acted. Everybody's relatively unique. There were times during the battle, whatnot, and they would say the character's name, and it would take me once they flash to a close up because they're all wearing like dark material.
Right.
The Imperial soldiers aren't, but like, oh yeah, study his face and be like, oh yeah, he's that dude.
A couple of the younger guys, they kind of blend into themselves.
Yeah, whereas like the feral guy, never gonna forget.
Of
guy
course.
with the spear, no problem. The two older dudes, no problem.
Right.
His nephew, not a problem.
Right.
It's like, oh yeah, the apprentice of
the
second apprentice type of thing.
Yeah.
The apprentice of the apprentice.
Yeah.
And that first apprentice, that dude is just a one-man wrecking crew.
Mm-hmm. He was incredible.
It's quasi-believable that they took out 200 samurai.
Yeah, because it's based on a true story.
Is it really?
Yeah, it is. It supposedly happened, and the way they build up the movie too. And if you haven't seen it, this is a great modern film of a samurai story to watch because it's a slow build, and you get the understanding of this political situation about this incredibly terrible ruler who is abusing his power as ruler and is like maiming these women just for the fun of it, and just he's just a terrible, terrible person to be in power. And I like how they address the fact that this guy is terrible because he's never had to be normal. So for him, human connection makes no sense to him because he's never had to be human with anybody.
Well, because he's never been able to connect because everybody's been below him.
Exactly. So he's in essence a sociopath in one of the worst possible positions a sociopath can be in, which is an emperor of this fucking area.
The shogun's brother, or something along those lines.
Right.
Basically, you can't touch him because his brother is, a number one.
Right. But I think he becomes the shogun because the brother dies, and so that's why everybody protects him. I don't know.
I don't think so. It's because they keep talking about the council that he'll get appointed to.
Right. Oh, right. That's right. So he'll go in and
as he's experiencing the war, I'm like, this was the age of war. Like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
This is what we should be doing, guys. We should be out slaughtering each other.
It's that kind of lunacy, man.
But it's not cartoonish.
No, it isn't. And that's what I mean. They do a great job of setting him up.
Yeah, he's so detached
Yeah.
from everyday life that from his perspective, when he's like, servants are meant to serve, that's, by letter of the law, especially for the samurai, you signed up for this.
Yeah.
It's part of the honor of the tradition of this. You don't defy me, and you die. You put your life in service of saving me.
Yeah. And no matter what decision I make, you have to go with it.
Exactly. You have to back my play 100%.
Feels familiar. Not to get too political. All right, can we jump on to my number 10?
Yeah.
All right, it's The Wild Bunch.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I was thinking about a Western on here, and I was like, oh, yeah, of course. The final, because everything else, like you said, is like one-on-one.
That's why I couldn't do it. All my favorites,
Totally.
It's a one. I wanted to do Unforgiven.
Oh, yeah, great.
But it's not really a bad. He kills 5 people.
No, it's a revenge thing. He's just like fucking tearing.
It's one dude versus 5 people.
Yep.
That's a little too few numbers.
And 5 people in a consolidated room.
Yeah. That's why I couldn't do another one. It's just like, this really wasn't a battle.
I totally get it.
Yeah.
But with Wild Bunch, it's legitimately a massive battle with these 5 guys against like the entire Mexican army there at the back.
T-Rex. Coming up.
T-Rex.
Small just popping up in the background somewhere. T.
Let's go do this. But yeah, and like it's a tragic, sad battle, but also Peckinpah made it that way to kind of show you this thing about violence and our bloodthirsty desire for violence, which was a thing in the 70s and late 60s. And so Wild Bunch kind of fed into that. And Ernest Borgnine, Robert Ryan, so many great actors in this thing, and what happens to them and what they go through. And what's his name? Jesus Christ, the guy in Network, I forget his name, the main dude. Holden, William Holden as well, who's the main guy.
Good pull.
In Wild Bunch. Yeah, man, it's all just jumbled in there now. All the studying I've been doing for the Schmodown, it's all just jumbled in there. William Holden leading them, and everything that happens, and it's all believable. Like the ending is what it's supposed to be. It's not heroic in any way, shape, or form. It's true, it's disgusting, it's dirty, it's bloody, and in the end, the numbers eventually win because that's the reality of the situation. No matter how much you want to believe it is. Even in 13 Assassins, we just talked about, eventually the numbers can possibly overwhelm you, but they certainly almost take care of it.
Yeah, in real life, the numbers, statistically speaking, they're all dead.
Yeah, right. Exactly what I'm getting at. Yeah. So
in a movie, though, it's not so unbelievable that they bring in like supernatural forces.
Right.
You're like, these numbers are kind of pushing it, but at the same time, It's by the Wild Bunch. Like, I'm seeing guys no scope with a pistol from 75 yards and be like, that's pretty impressive.
Right.
That dude was on the run in a zigzag pattern.
You got him.
And you were mildly concussed.
Right.
Still clipped him. Perfect shot.
Anyways, that's my number 10. My number 9 is The Last Samurai.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I love that final battle. I know people have issues about this movie. It's Tom Cruise, so I love it, and it's samurai stuff, so I love it even more. And I know it's just white savior bullshit. I get it. I do in certain certain films. I totally get it. But in this film, this is a destroyed character who is going into this situation.
Sure.
And he is. It's essentially PTSD he's struggling with from the terrible things he's done under orders, serving in the army, killing women and children, Native American women and children. And so he comes to this other battle and ends up siding against his old command, against the people he would normally have been fighting for. And it's a great relationship between him and Ken Watanabe's characters that leads to what we see in the final battle, which is in essence like this battle for honor, to die in an honorable way. And I love the way it all progresses, and the fighting, and the fighting modern warfare versus old warfare. And once again, old warfare cannot defeat modern warfare. It's a realistic ending to the battle.
It just depends. Well, I never thought about this. So one of the podcasts that I listened to brought up if you go back to a certain point, like early musket fire, if you were to take Caesar's army against whatever, early musket fire, after that first volley of shots...
Yeah, they have to load.
All that. Right. But they're not used to up-close combat, whereas Caesar's legions are.
Right.
So at that point, Caesar's willing to suffer those losses on the early volley, rush in there, and now we have the upper hand, and we will destroy them lickety-split.
Right.
So can we withstand that initial barrage? It's like, I've never had that thought in my life. That is super interesting.
Yeah.
But in this, they have machine guns.
Well, that's the thing.
A hand crank.
Right.
It's not a full machine gun, but once you have a Gatling gun, you need to update.
Yeah.
It's time. You can't fuck around anymore, guys.
Right, because they were close to winning when it was just the single shot rifle stuff.
Yeah.
It wasn't until they pull out the machine guns that they eventually wipe out.
Well, then it doesn't take skill.
Yeah. Right.
So it makes every man just an amazing killing machine.
Exactly.
And it's a scary... The only thing that always... Maybe I need to rewatch it again. I've seen it a decent amount of times. But Tom Cruise's hair is too good in the movie.
That's fair.
So I know it's not so much like it's perfectly cut.
Yeah.
It's it's supposedly dirty, but to me that just looks like product. It doesn't look like McConaughey in Mud or the Free State of Jones or whatever, which is like, I'm pretty sure you didn't shower for 3 days to get this kind of oily, like Donald Logue in The Patriot. I remember his hair being...
yeah.
It's like if you were an alcoholic living this kind of Western frontier vagabond lifestyle, you would look gross as shit. Now, eventually, once he's centered in the new culture and can find purpose and whatnot, your hair looks as good as all the rest of theirs. Totally buy it.
Right.
It was dirty. It was just like, it looks like you got product dirty in your hair. It's like trying to give me a facsimile.
It makes sense.
A buddy of mine, he can't get into certain Westerns. Like all their teeth look too good every time they smile.
Oh, interesting.
And I'm like, it bothers me now sometimes.
Well, shit. Don't watch Game of Thrones. Everybody's teeth is nice in Game of Thrones.
But everybody's teeth was good in Deadwood.
Yeah.
I wouldn't buy into the reality of that as much.
True.
There can be a couple.
Yeah, sure. But it's all through Game of Thrones. Nobody has bad teeth unless you're like...
That's fine. They're dragons. 80s. I don't care.
They're dragons.
They're dragons.
That's fair. All right. My number 8 is only got on this list, I think, because I had to watch it recently for the Cinephiles, and that's Akira.
Okay.
I had not watched this Japanese anime.
Is it not Akira?
Oh, right. As Emma Fife would correct me, Akira. But I haven't watched this one in a few years. It is my favorite Japanese anime for a number of reasons. I also collected the comic books for a long time as in the 80s and 90s. But the final battle here, watching it again, it is an incredibly intense final battle as he is like becoming or metamorphosizing into this thing that's half electronic and computer and technological and half human, and the skin breaking through the wires.
Dude, spoiler alert.
Yeah, right. And then fighting the other character, the other kind of like the other sentient beings in essence that are there, and his best friend, and trying not to kill his girlfriend, and his best friend's girl who the best friend's trying to get with. There's all kinds of shit. Plus the colonel. There's all kinds of stuff that happens here. in this final battle, and it is incredible because it also like touches upon this idea of technology versus humanity and how much combining the two can lead to something horrific and what have you. And so I really enjoyed the final battle on it, and I think that's why I made it, because I just saw it recently. I was like, oh, this is actually a fucking great final battle for an anime, you know, more realistic than you normally see in an anime. Anyway, all right, what's your number 7?
Glad you love it so much.
Thank you.
Number 7 is Fury.
Oh, good choice, man.
Because it is a small force on theirs, but they're taking on practically a full battalion of Germans.
Good choice, bro.
That's a battle.
Yep, totally a battle.
And I love it. They played decoy. They played, possum.
Yep.
Let them get in nice and close. And just, guys, they know going in, we're not going to make it out of this, more than likely. So let's just take out as many Germans as we possibly can. And how it progresses, they make it for a while.
Yeah.
And all the guys getting clipped, it's relatively believable. Mm-hmm. I would have to assume it's a stationary target like that you'd be able to take it out quicker than they did. Just flank around the back, and they're not covering their back end.
Yeah.
And they just keep waving in from the front and the sides, and be like, pretty sure there's degree of view here is only about 180 degrees max.
Right.
Maybe a little more. I don't know.
Was there anyone under the tank shooting from behind the back area?
I don't remember. No, because they've got the main gun on the front, and they've got Pena and the other kid. I can't remember his name, but he was in the Percy Jackson movies, I believe.
Yeah, Michael Lerman.
And they're sitting in the 2 driver's seats, because I think it takes 2 people to drive it and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. Well, Logan Lerman, yeah.
Or whatever the case is. But they're firing machine guns out of the front of that. Mm-hmm. LaBeouf is running the main gun, and Barenthal is, munitions.
Yeah.
Restocking, reloading LaBeouf's gun, getting extra ammo, etc.
Yeah.
And then Pitt is calling out the shots.
Right.
But at the same time, I've never seen a tank movie like that. Never seen war from the perspective of the tank, of just having this little, ecosystem that you have to create with all these random strangers. Mm-hmm. It's fucking nuts. I cannot imagine what that smelled like.
Yeah.
Diesel fuel and dudes.
Yeah, dudes farts.
Yeah. Days on end.
In a steel contraption.
Gross feet.
Yep.
And just not getting to bathe all that often.
Just BO in a fucking tank. Ooh, it's mind-blowing, man.
Barenthal looks like he'd have swamp ass, too. So then I got like 5 days you having swamp ass. I'm saying his character in it. His character in it to me.
Right, because he's such a fucking animal.
He is.
Yeah.
He's so guttural. It's like, I don't think you wipe properly. That's my guess.
Probably do one wipe.
Like, good enough. Like, that is not good enough.
There. Yeah.
You almost see him scooting his ass across the grass like a dog. Just slowly and surely. Almost done.
Try this machine. It works.
So that final battle is them doing the best they can to hold off what is seemingly an endless wave of death.
Yeah.
Good luck to you.
Yeah. Well, eventually.
Yeah.
I don't want to ruin it.
Well, certain things happen.
Yep. And it's definitely a film that needs to be reappreciated. Maybe in a little bit, maybe a little more time it'll be reappreciated. I think it's one of the best World War II films I've ever seen. What's your number 6?
6 is Mad Max Fury Road.
Oh, the whole film is a final battle.
No, they do the pit stop before the final battle when they decide, hey, you know what?
Gonna go back.
We're going back.
Oh, okay.
So there is a reprieve.
That's fair.
And it's right before we get into the last 35 minutes.
Okay.
It's a final battle. That's all it is.
Okay.
Just 13 Assassins is 47 minutes.
That's total.
Yeah, all the way to the end.
I agreed.
It's just pure death and then fade to black.
Right.
And the feudal system in Japan, 23 years later,
was over. And
now it's the Meija or Meira era?
Yeah.
Meija or RA? I can't remember.
Meija. I think you're right on the Meija. I think.
Yeah, my feudal Japanese knowledge is very limited. It's very limited.
I know. There's not Romans.
Yeah, exactly. Romans.
You're a big Romans guy.
Some Grecians. I like World War II, World War I. I got my pockets.
You do.
And I like them immensely.
Yeah. So, go ahead.
So it's Tom Hardy eventually turning to Charlize Theron, Mad Max to Furiosa.
Yeah.
Saying, look, we have to go back because there's plentiful water, there's food, and it's currently undefended.
And we have to take the chance because there's nothing out here.
Yeah.
And to survive, we got to
We can't end around them.
Yeah.
They have more supplies than us. but we could gun it back through the middle,
Yeah.
and so long as we can cut off that pass, we can make it back before they get back.
Yeah.
And it's just the nonstop barrage. It's crazy when you go back and rewatch that. I can't imagine having all these ideas in my head and knowing that it's the right call.
Yeah.
Like the guitar guy still baffles me, and it works.
It totally works.
It does.
It's a pose complete. I mean, if you're going to create Lord Humongous in Road Warrior, then the guitar is not that much of a jump.
Kind of, because the whole point is what? He's strapped in these bungees, and there's guys on drums, big tribal drums behind him. Yeah. But the engines and shit are revving so loud, they're never going to be able to hear this music.
Oh, probably a good point. Yeah.
So is it just for like the set deck, the visual style?
I think it's the craziness of it all.
Yeah.
That's what
I'm saying from the director's standpoint, but even within the world, like Emerson Joe.
Yeah. I think he does it to show like
to project.
This is how fucking crazy we are, and this is how little we think of you as a possible combatant, because we're going to bring out our guy to play music for. Essentially, it's like Apocalypse Now when they play that Wagner shit, the Valkyries thing, as they're going in to attack that town. That's how little they think of the resistance, that they're willing to bring out some dude to play a fucking guitar with fire coming out of it.
It kind of harkens back to at least imagery that we see from our Revolutionary War with like a kid on a drum and another on a fife.
Right.
And just playing those little do like marching songs.
Yeah.
And so they have that, but the revving of the engines, the whole point of that is to keep guys on time so they're marching in step and whatnot. It's just they sing songs when they march. And
It's true.
Yeah, it gives you rhythm.
Yes.
It does. Just bing, 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 bing. I don't da ba 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 ba. Just hey, step in time, guys. Step in time.
Trust me, I know.
Exactly. All junior Fossies. You just don't know it yet. You've already got. You understand the basics. 1 2 1 2. I can move to a metronomic pattern right there. Bing, bing, no problem.
There it is.
Did you ever get into the flipping rifle?
No. Fuck no. I didn't do any of that shit.
You say fuck no. Did you guys make fun of them?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Were they the cheerleaders of the armed forces?
Kinda, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you don't like...
You say that. You ever met a male cheerleader? Dude, they are fucking yoked.
Oh, yeah. No.
Nuts.
I want to make sure I say this correctly. We make fun of it because it's a... For what we're doing, it's a bit show-offish, and I think that's what rankles some people. And then other people love it because it shows...
You say you're in the barracks, like loaded M16s, and be like, look at those. Those things at best have blanks in them.
Look at that fucker spinning that shit around. No,
That's not a gun. He is a gun. Just...
No. But yeah. All right. So that was your number 6?
That was my number 6.
All right. We said my number 7 is 13 Assassins. My number 6 is the one mano a mano battle on my list. Yes. Mano a mano battle, yes, is Man of Steel. The end of Man of Steel.
Okay.
I love that battle because, and I can hear people groaning, but I love that battle because it is the most realistic superhero battle you're ever going to see about Superman at that particular, with those particular abilities. Them fighting in speed is incredible, the way they catch that. Him and Zod going back and forth. Yes, I know they destroy all those buildings and cause all the damage, and they got all kinds of shit for it on the internet for that. But like, the fight itself is one of the most realistic looking battle fight scenes you will see with someone of Superman's abilities and Zod's abilities. And that's what I love about it. And I love the ending. I know it's controversial. I know some people hate it. Some people love it. I'm one of those people that loves it. I love that he snaps his neck. I love that he realizes he's got to do it. And the emotional journey of that he has to kill and become the last living son of Krypton is incredible. And that's where the scream comes from at the end of the battle, is this whole idea of like, I had to kill my own. And it's like, all this coming out. And so all of it, I just really love the way they use their powers and the way the battle builds, because like Zod doesn't know how to fight with all the powers coming through. He was using his suit initially, but when Superman busts up his mask, he has to like kind of try to adapt, and essentially like a puncher getting like Ali talked about how they put like stuff in his eyes and he had to kind of navigate a couple of rounds kind of blind, that kind of stuff. And so it all kind of works, and then as it progresses to the end. So that's why I like it. That's my defense of it.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
I think it's the best Superman movie.
There you go. All right, what's your number 5?
That was my praise.
I respect it. What's your number 5?
5. So I was dancing around like, should I go with this one? Should I go with that one? Like between that and 4, just the placement of the two.
Okay.
But I'll just keep what I wrote down. Master and Commander.
Oh yeah, man! I was this close, dude. Because it'd be nice to have a naval battle scene on my list. But then I was like, no, I can't deny how I like these others just a little bit more. So,
dude,
but I wanted to. I really wanted to.
This is another one where I have been fascinated by. I have read numerous accounts of Magellan and Captain Cook. I've read like 3 books on Captain Cook.
Wow!
And I find that I don't know how in the world anybody signs up for that. Hey. Sail into the unknown. Mm-hmm. You think there's a landmass over there. Good luck.
Yeah.
And I don't know. We'll see you in 2-3 years. If you're lucky.
Yeah.
If you're lucky. Like Magellan, I'm going to circumnavigate the world.
Yeah.
Dude, that is asinine.
But humans have always had this natural desire to explore.
True. And to push it, to be the first.
Exactly.
To do all those things. I 100% get it. But every other endeavor, that's why I've read so many books on it. The appeal of it is utterly lost on me.
Yeah.
Being stuck on a boat, like going around the Horn of Africa, and the weather is so just calamitous and tumultuous that huge swells come up. It's like going up in the North Atlantic, all the fucking crab fishermen.
Oh, yeah.
Deadliest
yeah.
Catch.
Deadliest
Took me a
Catch.
second.
Right.
Watching that and be like, yeah, those swells are huge. And if you get knocked off, you're dead in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
45 seconds? Like, you don't have long.
Yeah.
Why are you doing this? Crab's good.
Right.
Is that good?
Right.
Is that good? I mean, like, obviously the payday is good enough and it's a job and, some guys sign up for it. But so that, and then the subterfuge when he uses what Paul Bettany, inadvertently teaches him about camouflage.
Oh, yeah.
And making yourself look like a weaker thing than to spring and become what is, prey become predator.
Yeah.
So they're like a whaling boat or something, and they're chuffing out all this smoke and whatnot. And it draws in that French privateer, and they get it close enough. And when they go across deck and it's dead quiet, I'd be walking across with shit in my pants. Just my scent is probably going to give me away.
The swamp ass would give you away.
Yeah, long before. Tank makes way more sense to me.
Yeah.
Because you can still open it up and you walk around. Boat is you live on this boat.
Yeah.
You may never get off this boat. There's a chance this is going to be your tomb.
Right.
Joey. Like the kid that, I'll say it, cannonballs himself because he feels he's bringing bad luck. And him looking up longingly as he floats down into Davy Jones's locker. Dude. No, thank you.
Yeah.
But I'll read another book on it because that shit is scary as fuck to me.
Yep. Yeah.
It's like mountaineering. I've read, I don't know how many books on mountaineering and expeditions and all that stuff.
Right.
I will never do it. I find it fascinating.
Yeah.
Although I'm closer to doing that than going back to Magellan's time and getting on a boat. I would rather go up K2 than do that shit.
Yeah. I'm good. I'm good either way. I'm good.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I have no desire.
Yeah.
I'd like to go to base camp,
Yeah, maybe.
See how big it actually appears.
Yeah.
And the glacier and this and that and the other, especially on Everest because you know it all, but at the same time, all the tourism has made it into certain areas a dump.
Yeah.
Because it's just impossible to take the shit down. So there's just crap. You're like, this probably isn't a good idea. But anyway, Master and Commander. Wish they could have gotten the full series that they had intended to do out of it.
Yeah.
Turn it into a TV show, guys.
I think it's certainly ripe for a television show nowadays.
6-8 episodes, season 1.
If you can have The Terror on AMC and Black Sails that's on Stars or whatever, how can you not have Master and Commander? The rights can't be that much.
Well, I think the only reason to even call it Master and Commander is if you get Russ Crowe.
Oh, you think there's no one to replace Russell for a
No,
TV
I just don't think it
version?
has as strong a pull, like independent of itself, because I know it was a book,
Right.
but it's not like when they talk about bringing Dredd back.
Right.
It's like, there's a pre-existing, it already exists in this kind of sphere, you know what you're getting.
Yeah.
We liked the first one, but willing to give it a second chance. Nobody saw Master and Commander.
Right. Unfortunately.
That was my 5. What's your 5?
Okay. My 5 is Excalibur.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
I fucking love this movie, and I love this final battle. It's always been one of my favorite things. Listen, I wanted to put 300 on my list. I hate to kind of like...
Foreshadow?
Yeah, foreshadow, but it's not. Because the battle is through the whole movie. So to me, there's no final battle that they really
I
have.
thought you might have it.
Yeah, I was really considering, but it's like the whole thing is just in stages. So there's no real final one. They're constantly fighting Xerxes the whole time. So there's not real final one. This, though, there is a final one, and it's great because it's right after like they've like Arthur's lost the plot. He's old now. He doesn't have Excalibur anymore, or doesn't have the Holy Grail anymore. Guinevere is off in a convent. Lancelot is like a crazy priest leading a cult against the Knights of the Round Table. This whole thing, and then what's his face? It goes after and gets the Grail. Shit! What's his fucking Percival? Percival gets the Grail, comes back. Arthur takes the sip. He realizes the land and the king are one. He is reborn, and the fucking Carmina Burana fucking song starts, and they're going through, and like flowers are popping up where once there were just dead branches and everything like that. Goes to Guinevere, gets Excalibur, gets all the Round Table to get all the knights together, and then they go into battle against Mordred, his half son. From Morgana tricking him, and them having sex, and he fights the whole thing, and then Lancelot shows up just when they're about to get beat. Lancelot shows up because he's been called to show up, and they have the final. And then Arthur fucking dies, but first he kills his son. He kills the evil, then dies because he has to die for the sins of his ego and pride. And that's like fantastic, man. It's a great fucking final battle.
Beat by beat right there. That was.
I just love it, man, for the fucking score and it's swords, and I just have a thing for that. So, all right. Anyway, anything you want to say on that?
I believe I've seen it. That's the best.
Holy shit!
I believe I've seen it.
Wow. This may be the film I've watched the most in my entire life. Excalibur.
Who are the leads?
Or Top Gun. It's either Excalibur or Top Gun.
Who are the leads?
Who are the leads?
Yeah.
It's Nigel Terry and Nicole Williamson. Nicole Williamson plays...
Exactly. Those
Merlin.
Two old chestnuts that everybody knows the work of.
Oh, fair enough. Obviously. But Patrick Stewart's in it. Liam Neeson's in it. Helen Mirren's in it.
Sure.
They
were all very young and had small parts.
They were. Well, not Helen Mirren, but certainly Liam Neeson. Yeah, her part's pretty big. But yeah, Patrick Stewart's part is sizable in that he's Guinevere's dad. So, yeah, he has a decent part. But yeah, pretty much everybody else you barely know. You barely may have seen him in something. So... But yeah, there you go. All right, anyway. And the guy who plays Arthur recently died a couple of years ago, which was a shame for me. All right, what's number 4?
4 for me is Rogue One.
Great choice.
It was that or Jedi.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Overall, because there aren't teddy bears... It's what it is. It's. I'm not denigrating the film because as a kid, I thought that was the height of cinematic achievement.
Of course.
I still love it to this day.
Yeah.
But talking about pound for pound, my enjoyment and belief in the world, Rogue One cements that a little bit better.
Yeah.
So much so that the closest they get to that is when, who's it? Akbar's previous... His cousin or whatnot, call in the Hammerhead Corvette.
Yeah.
And it is exactly what it is. I mean, it's literally, it's the old Mitch Hedberg, call a refrigerator because it keeps things cold, a toaster because it toasts. Like Hammerhead Corvette looks like a Corvette with a hammerhead's head on the face of it. Yep. And it just rams the fucking thing into the shield. And I was like, that is all I wanted in this moment. And I can't believe I didn't know it beforehand. Thank you for giving it to me. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is just that, knowing that they have to die in this disgustingly beautiful way in which they transpire. Mm-hmm. They all like slowly but surely get picked off, but it's in,
it's totally believable how it happens.
It is.
And it's emotional as hell.
In service of a greater goal.
Yeah, maybe I made a mistake not putting it on my list.
And then on top of that, it's just like when you think the battle is over, boom, Vader saber. You're like, this battle's still going, baby. This battle keeps going. Oh, man, that movie... The people that do top 10 lists of Star Wars are like, it's my 10.
Yeah.
Okay, explain.
Yeah, Rogue One is like in top 5 for me. Maybe top 3, top 4.
It's top 2 to top 3.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
Top 2 to top 3.
When we were in Chicago, I rewatched it on the way back from Chicago after our live event, and I fucking fell in love with it all over again. It's such a good, well-paced, well-acted, well-constructed movie. And that ending is incredible and emotional and everything you'd want it to be. And so much so that I wish I could see the original cut of what the darker.
Oh, the before the reshoots?
Yeah, the darker Rogue One they wanted to do. I wish I could have seen that.
I mean, you could say upon rewatching, because part of me does believe it, I guess, on some level.
Yeah.
I could just skip forward to when she first shows up at the Rebel base and they're determining whether or not to.
Sure.
It's like, I know the backstory.
Yeah.
So I don't need to see all the backstory on how Mendelsohn is a dick and who your parents were and all that. So let's just skip forward to you on the journey and I'm 1,000. But I still like the other.
Totally.
I just don't need to keep seeing it over and over again.
That's a very good point, man. Absolutely. You could just start there. That's a great point. You could just start the movie there.
All right. What's yours?
My number 4 is the end of Seven Samurai. The final battle of Seven Samurai.
Okay.
Yeah. Look, Magnificent S7 was, but I was like, I got to take the original because it's so long, much longer, and there's so many more emotional beats with what happens to the great swordsman of the Seven, Toshiro Mifune, and I think a couple of the other people, like what happens to them, and then just the battle itself and how it changes and the stages it goes through. Then the rain gets involved and the changing allegiances of the villagers in terms of their desire to fight, desire not to fight, and then eventually the desire to fight. All of it is so well done, and Kurosawa keeps your attention all through it. It's really incredible the way he does. I mean, this is a 3-hour black and white movie about samurai defending a small town, and it is, for me, it is. At times, depending on the day you ask me, number 2 or number 3 of my favorite films of all time. And there we go. It happens, man. It sticks.
Yeah, I know.
But I just love this ending so much. And because it becomes philosophical at the end and what happens to the peasant farmer who was part of them, or who used to be a peasant farmer but wanted to be a samurai and then ends up coming back. And then the 2 older dudes looking at the graves of the men who've died defending that village and talking about, like, yeah, well, we made it. And what now, you know? And so I just love it for that.
You're not wrong.
Okay. You're not wrong with Rogue One, that's for sure.
No, I just wanted slightly larger numbers by and large, you know?
Yeah, I hear you.
It's like 13 assassins. You're like, oh, yeah, there's 200.
Yeah, true. Fair point. Well, there's a lot here against Seven Samurai. It was a lot.
Yeah.
I
got you.
think it was 50 to 75. It was a lot.
Fury is, but that's like they've got machine guns.
Right,
they've got,
of course.
It's like in my own head, this is the fluid dynamic of the definition.
Yeah,
I try to keep it. 3 for me is Endgame.
That's a punt. Yeah. 3 for me is actually Civil War, which is the closest to the mano a mano, I guess we get again, which is
it's mano a mano a mano. That's why I didn't do the good,
3.
bad, the ugly.
Yeah.
It's like it's a great final fight.
I just think this is a great, great battle.
It is. It's one of the best fights.
Okay.
To me,
I hear what you're saying. Maybe I should take. You know what? I'm going to take it off, and I'm going to put Rogue One. And move up 7 Samurai. So I'll put Rogue One at 4.
Okay.
I think you make great logic there in what you said. So I'm going to take it off. I'll put Rogue One at 4.
It's like why you can't put like the Raid or the Raid 2.
Yeah, I couldn't do that
awesome
either.
Fights, but
yeah. Okay.
It's a fight. It's not a battle. To me, definition of battle is like 2 opposing forces.
I feel better about my list already. Rogue One at 4, end of 7 Samurai at 3. So what's your 3 again?
3 was Endgame, which is a punt.
Okay.
Your 3 is now Rogue One.
Yeah. My 2? Oh, your 2.
My 2 is not on your list.
Okay.
The 2 Towers.
Battle of Helm's Deep?
Yeah.
I'm going to shock you. That's my number 2.
Okay.
Yes, sir. That battle is incredible. That
it is.
shit with the elephants at the end of fucking Return of the King, not for me. This battle is awesome.
When Gandalf, like in the 3rd movie and the Eagles show up.
Yeah.
It seems so cheap.
Yes.
But I know it's in the books. I know it's whatever. Whereas when Gandalf shows up at the end of Helm's Deep, I don't know how much more I could have taken. I knew they had to win, and just like, how are they going to win?
Right.
Like they're crushing, and they're still losing. They're doing way better than any person by rights should ever do. And I love the back and forth with like Gimli and Legolas.
Yes.
How many's it at now? Like, in the middle of all this carnage.
Yeah.
And like early siege weapons with the people that come with the bombs to blow up.
Yeah.
Gunpowder, the first time anybody, perhaps have seen gunpowder on the battlefield.
Right.
Which is, an homage to World War I. Because mechanized warfare didn't exist before then. It's fucking crazy going back and reading accounts or hearing about a lot of sides came in, thinking, oh, I'm used to dealing with artillery
Right.
of Napoleonic wars. And he's just like, well, yeah, but the Industrial Revolution happened. And now we can manufacture on a level that your brain hasn't ever
Yeah.
fathomed.
And you're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. It's like, the name drum fire, because they were dropping so many bombs, it sounded like somebody just doing a rat-a-tat on a snare drum.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus. Yeah. You're like, oh my God, those are bombs? You didn't know that, you were used to like a 12-pound cannonball coming at you.
Yeah. You're like, fuck that shit.
Yeah, but so in Helm's Deep is that. It's,
yeah.
It's just, we're going up, we're taking down this unending orc army comes flooding over this hill. It's so good.
And the film's been building to this battle the whole time. So you've been waiting for it. And when it happens, it does not disappoint. And the rain and the nighttime and all the different conditions that they have to endure. And then fucking Gandalf shows up, man. And it's like this bright white light. And you're like, oh, shit.
A light in the darkness.
Yes, a light in the darkness. And, you couldn't be blamed for forgetting that he had, died. And so you weren't sure. If you hadn't read the books, you're not sure if he's supposed to show up or not. And then when he shows up, you're like, oh, fuck. And it's great. And just everything they endure. And you're right. Like even when Gimli tells him to toss him, he's not to toss him.
Throw me. What? Throw me. But between their banter,
yes,
over the last film and this film, as they split off and they're just going down their own separate journeys, they've really built up that rapport between them.
Yes, a friendship. Yes, a fellowship. One would say. But yeah, that's the complaints. I know people like hate like I playfully bash this trilogy, and it is playful because there are some really incredible scenes in these movies, and certainly Helm's Deep is one of the most intense, like rah rah rah, and then like what the fuck's gonna happen kind of experiences you can have when you're watching a battle on screen, And it's my temptation to buy this one in 4K to see what it looks like, that battle in 4K.
Don't do it, dude.
The Two Towers?
Borrow it.
Okay, I'll borrow it.
I mean, how often you really watch
this is what my girlfriend says all the time. She's like, "Why do you buy these 4Ks? You rarely watch them." And I was like, "I don't know. It's that hunter gatherer in me." I was like, "This is one of the last places that I do that. Still, is these 4Ks."
Still, if that's the mentality, then you would have died because you've been hunting and gathering things that were easily gettable and provided no sustenance. So, that definition doesn't exactly apply.
Well, because I hunt and gather my food fine.
You mean driver hoarder because you drove somewhere.
I'm not a hoarder. I'm certainly not a hoarder. I used to be. Holy fuck that I used to be a hoarder, but I am not a hoarder now. I abhor it like crazy. I mean, in fact, I just threw out 4 fucking large garbage bag clothes, full of clothes, rather.
Threw it away? You didn't donate?
Oh, no, I'm sorry, donate. I'm sorry, I meant to say donate. Yes, I donated to the Veterans Administration. I donated to the Veterans thing. But it was 4 fucking bags because I was like, it's time to change the wardrobe. It's time to stop holding on to shit from years ago.
So much.
Yeah, you just kind of, just like, this is what works now. Boom. And 5 years from now, I'm going to toss this shit away and start over again.
I need to get back in the mentality of, I need to update some of my clothes.
Yeah.
But I also, it's like, I don't know. I haven't felt like it.
Yeah.
And it's fine. I'm good to go for a while.
Lindley's like that. She's like, I've had these pair of jeans. I'm like, honey, you could afford something better, but she's just like, no, these. Why? Who am I trying to impress? She goes, who am I trying to impress? Yeah,
these work.
She's like, I already got you. And I'm like, all right, fine.
Oh shit!
Oh shit!
That was a good little subtle compliment to yourself. It did not feel forced at all.
No,
I already got you.
It's her way of saying I'm comfortable. I don't have to do more. Oh, okay. Anyway, great battle. Blah blah blah. So what's your number one?
Is Saving Private Ryan.
Oh, okay. Yeah, not on my list. I know you hate me for that, but go ahead.
I don't hate you for it. I just don't know why. Didn't even make your list. Didn't even make a discussion within your mind of making.
It did. There's just.
I just want those listening to know that he was making so little eye contact that it did is he remembered it and then dismissed it out of hand instantly.
Pretty much. I don't feel the emotional weight of that film that you do, so that's the only thing.
I think it's just because ultimately you sided with the communists that flooded into East Germany ultimately, and you're like, that's where my rationale sides, not with the Americans trying to liberate people.
You caught me, man.
It's collectivism.
You found me out of a pink
socialized collectivism, and that is You are wearing a linen T-shirt right now.
I think it's linen. I don't know if it's linen. It's polyester, I think.
The welcome mat says Trotsky's welcome.
It
right
does.
on the front.
It does. It's in red. It's in red.
Of course it is.
It's red.
Bottom side is in pink.
That's right.
It's just depending on who's coming over.
Mao's on the other side.
Oh, you got Zedong?
Of course.
Good for you. What were the 5 pestilences that you killed here? Was it 5 or 4? I can't remember.
I don't know. Wait, is that something it's in the book?
Yeah, no. He when he took over after the Boxer Revolution.
Oh, the Boxer. Yeah.
So he instituted basically trying to improve the country of China.
Yeah,
and it was like 4 pestilences, and he wanted to kill all of X, Y, Z, like eradicate all grasshoppers, type of thing, whatever. Yeah. But one of which was this bird, and then because of that, insect populations ballooned and took out all their crops.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so it backfired on him so hard. It was an interesting, how man can have influence on the world around them, and the nasty repercussions thereafter. You take out some part of the ecosystem. But yeah, I think there were sparrows or something.
Okay.
Yeah, they're just basically you got paid per head. Hey, whatever you can bring in.
Right.
I don't know. I think it might have just been on the patriotism side of this is your collective job. Everybody should be out trying to do this.
Right.
It's been a long time since I've read any Chinese history.
Okay.
I like the more ancient stuff as opposed to the newer stuff.
Yeah. I like the old hits.
Yeah, I do. Hey guys, why'd we do this wall? Talk to me. It's that to me. Be-ba-ba-doo. I like early Frank,
Play the Great Wall.
Yeah. Free bird.
Stairway to Heaven.
Exactly. Ooh, Robert Plant's got a new solo album. Gee. I think I'll steer clear of that, but Kashmir, buddy? You want to play that?
Yeah, I'm cool with Kashmir.
But Saving Private Ryan,
go ahead, man.
The end, after you have that opening of storming Normandy, there's no way. They don't eclipse Normandy, but they get to the same heightened impassion. They finally find Ryan. You're coming with us. What makes me any more different or special than just fighting? It's the whole point that I'm there.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful way to wrap it up at the very end, too, with the morph from Damon into later on. Well, that's Hanks dies, and tell me I'm a good man. Yeah. Earnless. Just fucking.
But also the knife thing, the Yuden thing is fucking intense. And
no.
Yeah.
Just the slow plunge.
Oh, fuck.
And then what? Up them.
Yeah.
Get off your ass, bud.
Yeah. And then Upham has to when he sees the German dude, he's like, God damn it, and all the shit that goes on through this. So it's a great battle. I got no. Like I said, it just doesn't have the emotional resonance for me that it does for other people who love the film as much as they do. And so I didn't think about putting it on. I thought about it, obviously, but I didn't put it on the list. There you go.
You should have taken the movie Stalingrad, where the Russians beat the Nazis. You'd have felt right as rain. You'd have been.
Is that a movie? Stalingrad?
Yeah, they made a Stalingrad. I don't know if it has a big.
Is it a feature
I can't remember
film?
if it has a. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, basically just about the foolhardy of.
Shit.
That's why no one invades Russia in the winter.
Right.
Everybody learned this, and Hitler's like, I think we could do it.
I think we can do it. All right. So then my number one is the punt from earlier, Avengers Endgame. Dude.
I've seen the others more.
Yeah, I totally understand. Dude, not even
It's my 3. It's not like those were the first 3 I wrote down in that order. Saving Private Ryan, Two Towers, Endgame. I was like, all right, well, those 3 are done.
I can respect that. I recently, on the trip to Australia, I watched the film going to Australia and I watched the film going back to Australia and wasn't bored either time. And that battle still fucked me up both times because just that moment when Cap is standing there by himself against this horde of fucking Thanos' people. It's the best. It's a great comic book.
He pulls that strap tight.
Yeah, man.
I suddenly realized why Cap was such a big presence in comics that I never read because he was just too bland.
Yeah.
It seemed from afar.
He was so Boy Scout.
Yeah, it's like, well, why do you need this? Why is he in my Avengers? I guess everybody can't be a fucking shooting star. I get it.
Right.
But in this, man. Yeah, dude. And just the Avengers assemble.
Yeah.
When he gets Mjolnir.
And you've been waiting 22 films for somebody to finally say it. Whether it was him or Iron Man.
But it's great that that could have been the most overused line in every movie. Like,
if this is a 90s MCU, They're saying that in every movie. Or an 80s MCU, it's Avengers Assemble.
This is Fast and Furious, like family.
Yeah.
Anytime they say family.
So
there you go. It is.
But and the way he underplays it too, Chris Evans just says assemble. He doesn't go like assemble. He just says it real subtle, like man. And then fucking Hemsworth loses his mind running and shit. But I love it because it starts out from a place of those three taking on Thanos, and then it progresses to so much more.
Well, he
Right?
gets Nim particled through time, and then I like how
Yeah,
the Nim,
right.
the Nim particles can only work on one individual unless you guys are all on the same ship together. And then suddenly, I know that was like a hold on. So what does it matter when Rudd goes this? If they're going to the same time stream, couldn't they just hold hands then? And then they only using half the Nim particles.
Oh, good point. Good point.
Yeah, but who cares? I don't care. It doesn't depreciate my enjoyment.
Not at
But
all.
they had already been nuked from the sky
Yeah.
at that point when they showed
Yeah,
up.
exactly.
So-
That's what I'm saying. Like, the nuke from the sky. So, and then it's like, Thanos is just waiting, and the three of them come up, and they're going to go at him, and they have that fucking battle as like an appetizer to the final battle, because what's left is, Thor's knocked out, Iron Man's kind of phased, and Cap is left to like broken, half his shield broken, to like yank the straps. When he yanks the straps, standing there, and he's leaning in, like the left leg is in front of the right leg, I think, and he's leaning in as a tired, weary soldier would. And then the fucking orange holes, all those holes, the portals that Doctor Strange uses, all pop up, and you're just like, oh shit! And that battle is incredible from beginning to end. Great emotional moments, funny moments. Stakes are never out of the realm of your, out of your sight. And then the moment happens at the end. And you're just like, wow, what a gutsy fucking ending, man.
I mean, to do the Doctor Strange portal, that could feel really cheap. Oh, hey, look at that. How convenient is this? Everybody just shows up because they got a couple of strangers with them. You know what I mean?
Right.
They've got the Asian guy, and they've got this. What is the order that they're called?
What do you mean?
Of
Yeah.
Like a Boba Fett is a Mandalorian.
Right. I forget. The monks, they're all monks and whatever.
Yeah,
I
but
can't remember.
they've got to have a specific name.
They do. I just don't remember it.
Yeah, I just don't want to go because after that they're all nameless.
Well, the Dormammu is the villain.
evil, yeah.
Yeah, but the Agamemnon, whatever it is.
Agamemnon is
the eye
isn't
of
that Zelda?
Agamotto. It's the eye of Agamotto that is what she has and he has.
You could have said anything right there.
But obviously not Agamemnon.
The eye of Shinzato? Sure.
Shinzato.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Especially if we're going Asian.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I forget their order.
The eye of Akira.
It's there you go. I forget the order, but it obviously is an order, and they all, they're all, all the monks are coming through
Whatever
Wong and everybody. Yeah.
But in this, as soon as they do,
yeah,
hairs.
Yeah.
On the back of the neck. And like,
Every single time.
game on. You all Thanos coming in cheap shotting us, firing from the sky, like as a tactician, not a bad tactic.
Right.
Catch us unawares. Although someone pointed out, and I didn't realize it, I didn't think about it, and it's one of those thoughts I wish I had. Bringing those people back after 5 years we would have ended up instantly losing a bunch of them because we no longer have the food production and electricity production, and all that stuff to handle.
Right.
Half the world's population suddenly showing back up, like, oh my God, starvation is going to happen real quick.
Yeah, true. Unless Christ comes back with you.
Yeah.
You're going to have some time.
Or cannibalism becomes chic. There's only a couple options here.
You know what's cool? Cannibalism.
Fuck yeah. Dude, you ever had like a early 40s white guy's choice butt before? It's like, it's succulent. It's nice amount of fat to muscle ratio.
Swamp ass becomes the blowfish. It's like, you do it, but you might die.
Oh, you got to get in there.
Fucking die.
You don't think that's like the chode in between? You got it out just right. It is a fucking delicacy. People are scooping out our, swigging berries like they do sea urchins. A little melon scooper. There you go. Try that. It's delicious.
Oh, it grossed out half the audience. No, that's cool. Also, like the beats of it too, like Captain Marvel showing up and all of it just working so. And then the women getting that one moment that's A-Force all together, which is so cool.
See, that felt so contrived.
Really? Oh, I loved it.
I have zero problem with all of them being there.
Yeah.
Outside of Paltrow, all of a sudden having a suit and
Right, as rescue.
yeah,
right.
Never seen you before, but at that point, it's like, who cares?
Well, he hints at it because he says he's been building this for mommy. And
True,
blah, blah, blah.
but there were no other hinted at characters that suddenly showed up as superheroes. But why she didn't just show up the way she did in Iron Man 3, where she's that molten lava,
extremist.
whatever,
Yeah.
type of thing? Did that just go away?
Yeah, I think is what like they got it out of her
They
system.
retconned that. They got it out of her system. They gave her some Pepto.
Yeah, I don't know. Tony figured it out. One way or
Exactly.
another.
It gets you right here. So whatever they use for people to get a kick out of A1 steak sauce,
That's right.
peppers them too deep with that indigestion. So we took care of it with her. But I didn't care. Just they were already there.
Yeah.
So to me, in that moment, it just felt so like, oh, okay.
Well, we had a moment like that in Infinity War. Remember when Scarlet Witch and
True, but that
Okoye-
naturally occurred. That was organic on the battlefield.
I got you. This felt like they were putting them all.
Well, suddenly 15 female characters are in the exact same spot on this huge battlefield.
Yeah, I guess so. I liked it.
I know.
I get the complaints. I totally do.
I don't-
but I still enjoy it.
I don't care that they did it.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
if they want to do that, it's your movie, and the rest of this thing is fantastic. So who cares? That's not a real critique.
Right.
It'd only be bad if it took me out and upset me, or it took me out of the
Yeah, it
reality.
took you out of the.
And I don't care.
Exactly.
Because I like all those characters. It's awesome to see them kick ass. Great.
Yeah.
I'd like to see some more of them kick. I'd like to see more out of like Wasp. And it felt weird to me that Black Panther's sister did so much fighting.
Shuri? Yeah. I think that's a little precursor to what may be happening in Black Panther too.
Okay.
Because in the comics, she takes over for Black Panther for a while. So
that makes sense.
They may be laying the groundwork for that in the second.
Because to me, she was Ned in Spider-Man. I'm your nerd in the seat. I mean, she's a more
active.
yes
Yeah.
role than that, but super sciencey in the background. Like,
Right.
yes, you can do amazing things, but you really couldn't do them without me.
I think if she hadn't fought in Black Panther, which you see in the last thing,
a little bit.
not successfully, obviously, because Killmonger does get the jump on both of them. You might not have been it might not have been as believable because she had,
But the rest of it, like Valkyrie coming in on the
that was awesome.
the flying horse,
Yeah.
awesome,
Pegasus.
and over and over and over again. I can't remember the Michonne's character's name.
Right, Okoye.
There you go.
Yeah.
She's awesome, and they got a bunch of great different.
That's what I think they could do, and hopefully that was a moment where they were like showing the audience that this A-Force, which is what it was a run in the comics where the women were all together as a
What is a spinoff?
yeah, it's kind of a spinoff. It could work down the road if you
Maybe
wanted
I don't know
to
if you
do.
could go this large a cast.
Oh, yeah, true. It's tough. But then again,
It is.
Stallone did it with the Expendables, so it's certainly possible to put a big, large cast together.
Yeah, but all these by and large are at the front of.
You're talking A-list. They're A-list.
Well, in superhero comic or movies,
Right.
on some level, yes, they're part of A-list products.
Yeah.
So they're either Brie Larson, I'm a standalone. I could see more of the Okoye, I think you said her name was.
Right,
and
right.
the little sister and
Sure. Wasp would work with
maybe.
Evangeline. 'Cause
Yeah,
Evangeline's
probably.
not really like-
Evangeline, yeah. But I don't know if Tessa Thompson, maybe, but maybe not.
Yeah.
She's doing enough other things. I mean, had Men in Black been a bigger hit,
Oh, yeah.
there's less of a chance.
Yeah.
But then that thing was, DOA. I'd like to see him do it again.
That was a massive disappointment.
I like the two of them so much that I believe they could do it.
Yeah, they fucked up by making him some kind of pseudo James Bond thing. It was terrible.
It was dumb.
And then it was telegraphed. The villain was so telegraphed from the opening, from the trailers. So you're like, okay. Just like this Maleficent. Michelle Pfeiffer's going to be the villain. It's so fucking obvious.
I haven't seen the trailer. I didn't like the last one.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't like the last one.
In no way do I believe that Charlton Copley is pulling off these hot broads.
Okay.
He's the king, so I guess on some level,
I mean, because he's got that popularity, it works, I think.
I don't know.
But I hear what
That
you're
killed
saying.
me from the instant. I'm like, you should have done better casting here. And he is a stellar actor.
But you're not supposed to like him.
No.
So he's the right choice.
But I
for
need
that.
to believe that he has the magnetism and charisma to
Yeah.
get away with this.
Yeah.
And his portrayal just.
Yeah, I don't.
But he's awesome.
Yeah.
He's a great actor.
He is. He's a good actor.
Even if I don't like the movie, I like him in it.
Sure. Certainly.
Although I haven't seen what's that follow up? It's not a follow up to District 9, but Neil Blomkamp did it with the robot that's fully CGI.
Chappie.
Chappie.
Yeah.
He's the physical actor of Chappie, but I haven't seen it because everybody was like, it's not good.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I know there are some people who defend it, so respect.
I liked Elysium.
I didn't like Elysium.
Yeah. I don't think it's great by any stretch of the imagination, but I found it interesting.
I think the concept was very interesting.
Yeah. It's a little flat on its execution, but I still found it interesting.
All right. Well, there's our individual top 10 lists for the best final battle scenes in a movie. Let's put them together. Matt, you want to write?
All right. So it goes 1-3 on Endgame. Towers is 2-2. So I would say Endgame wins that then.
Yeah,
it's got a 1.
Yeah.
Of course you think so.
Well, I just...
it goes without saying. It's your number 1 and that's your number 2. Of course, this is the way you feel it should go.
Well, yeah, but you felt the need to say it. If it went without saying, you wouldn't say it.
The magnanimity is so false.
Oh my God! What?
That I'd like to call out the.
I think the thing is that Matt knows things that I think like he thinks it is really important for him to have the number 1, and I could care less sometimes. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes.
What are those sometimes? What is that? Oh, is that in like the second Thor movie that you have to have all 7 kingdoms align for this one thing to happen? Is that the sometimes?
That's fair. It does happen though.
Once every 5 millennia, this random celestial lineup happens, and then I'm willing to forego. All right, Private Ryan, you don't have Rogue One. You made your 3, so I would say Rogue One next.
Okay, all right.
Saving Private Ryan is my number 1. It's not on your list. Talk to me. I think it should go next.
7 Samurai is my number 3.
Yeah, it's not on my list. It's not making it over.
Yeah. So what is not making it? What do you mean it's not making it? We're not going to flip?
No, why should we? It's 1 versus 4.
Oh no,
Private
Ryan's your 1. That's right. I'm sorry. I thought it was your 3. My bad, dude. My bad. See, magnanimous always.
All right, so that's your 4.
Rogue One was Samurai was my 3.
Oh, 7 Samurai.
Yeah,
7 Samurai.
So where are we at now? How many are we at now?
We are at that's the top 5 right there.
Oh wow, okay.
Your next highest.
My number 5, Excalibur.
All right, I got Master and Commander. I've never seen Excalibur. You've at least seen Master and Commander.
I have. Are they both 5s?
Yes.
You know the deal.
Well, we both have 13 Assassins.
We do. Mine's at number 7.
I have that at 8.
Okay.
This is 6. Do we want to reserve it for a 7-8 spot?
I feel like I don't feel like it should jump, right? Not over our 2 5s.
Flip that coin.
Okay.
Move that bus.
All right.
And it's best 2 out of 3. Let's do that.
Okay. Fucking hell.
What do you got? Who is it? That looks like Superman to me. It is Superman. So that's 1 for Roka. Okay. 1 for the losers, 0 for the winners.
Oh, shit. Sorry about that.
It's all right. It happens. It happens to the best of us. What do we got?
That's the queen. It's a tie.
Here we go. Good guys 1. Bad guys 1.
Superman.
Son of a bitch is really making it over. Excalibur. A guy with Nigel from the Downtowners.
Look, I hate to break it to you, but more people have seen Excalibur than Master and Commander, so.
Okay. More people alive?
Yes, more people alive. King Arthur carries a lot of weight in Britain, my man.
Just saying, the run when this came out was 40 coming up on 50 years ago?
Yeah, we've had multiple versions of this film come out.
Yeah, but we're not talking about multiple versions. We're talking about this film.
Yeah, I'm talking about this film.
You've had multiple versions of this story.
No, I'm saying
this film.
Of this film, there have been multiple.
No.
Iterations. No, not iterations. It's come out in multiple forms of media.
They're basing it off of pre-existing product. It's not like this thing invented it.
No, I know that. But if there wasn't demand or market for it, they wouldn't make it. When it comes out in 4K, then you'll know it's real.
Okay. It's never going to happen.
I'm just saying.
It's never going to come out in 4K. Or it's going to come out in 4K right when 4K is obsolete.
So it's 8K.
Yeah, well, whatever it is after that. All right. So
we all have to take our hits on the coin. You know that.
I don't know. It's just to boldly say that more people have seen Excalibur. a movie I haven't seen, and I professionally watch movies at this point, and I don't know that I've seen it.
Yeah, well.
I believe I have, but it's stretching it because I didn't know Helen Mirren's part was so big.
Yeah.
So that leads me to believe I have not seen this.
You probably haven't.
And yet, more people.
Then Master and Commander, which was a flop.
If we do a census,
it was a flop.
If we do a census of the verified accounts of what people have seen and have not seen in this room, Master and Commander is 100% versus 50%.
What's the verified accounts? What do you mean?
You know for a fact that you've seen both movies.
I have.
I know for a fact I've seen one of them.
Yeah, but I've seen it if I still prefer Excalibur over Master and Commander.
I'm just saying, statistically speaking, the numbers bear out that of the verifiable accounts that we have, 100% of people have seen Master and Commander.
We've both also seen more Pauly Shore movies than you've seen Excalibur, or that doesn't mean they're better than Excalibur.
But I bet you more people have seen the Pauly Shore movies than have seen Excalibur.
It's not true. Excalibur is such a revered film. This is hilarious to me.
I want to see a Facebook poll of this.
No, maybe. Yeah.
What do you mean maybe? Why not?
I don't know. I don't know if our audience...
Facebook skews older. It's mostly 30s and 40-year-olds, I believe,
see.
that are most active. Well, there's some, it's like 20s through 40s, I think, early 40s are the most active.
Maybe. We'll see. But people like voting against me, so I don't know.
Oh, you can't bring in this dynamic into it.
They do.
Wait a fucking, just whatever. We had a sterile environment, and you just brought bacteria into it, skewing the results. You dipped your toe into the water. It's like Minority Report. You can't get in.
You assumed it was a sterile environment. I always knew it wasn't. But
well, if you bring in the guilt trip,
I can't bring something in that's already been
the
here.
guilt trip of it's reintroducing an idea that may or may not exist.
Just because you close your eyes to it doesn't mean it's not in the room.
Oh, here we go again, guys. Here we go again.
Two sides to look at it.
Where
are we at?
We got 8, 9, and 10.
Okay.
Year 6.
Yes.
Is what?
Man of Steel.
I got Mad Max Fury Road.
Okay. You can put Fury Road above Man of Steel.
Not even going to take issue.
Since I won the Excalibur thing, which makes you so upset. And then Assassins at the end? Or should we put 13?
You should put Assassins there.
Okay. And then Man of Steel over, and then... then yours, and then Man of Steel?
Yeah, Mad Max, and then...
Okay.
All right, we're good.
All right, cool. Let's do this thing. The top 10 final battles in a movie, yeah. At number 10.
Man of Steel.
At number 9.
Mad Max Fury Road.
At number 8.
13 Assassins.
At number 7.
Master and Commander.
At number 6.
Excalibur.
At number 5.
7 Samurai.
At number 4.
Saving Private Ryan.
At number 3.
Rogue One.
At number 2.
The Two Towers.
And our number 1 final battle scene in a movie is...
Endgame.
Endgame.
And then Mr. Hasso's list.
Oh, yeah. Let's do, what is Hasso's list? It's probably all karate movies.
It could be.
Yeah.
Matthew says, what's up, fellas? Thank you so much for picking my topic. My list is going to be all over the place, but as you probably guessed, it will end up with martial arts.
There you go.
With martial arts,
I literally just guessed
Yep.
that.
The hardest part for me was keeping it to a final confrontations in a movie. Technically, Achilles versus Hector and Troy is their final confrontation, but it starts the third act of the movie, so I left it out. Yeah, that's not a final act, a final battle.
Okay.
At any rate, I did try to bring in some non-fight kind of confrontations as well, but only one made the final cut.
Okay.
Thanks again. I look forward to hearing the list you guys come up with. At number 10, best of the best, Tommy Lee versus Dae Han.
Oh, so he went like full on like hand-to-hand combat type things.
Okay.
I guess.
I'm blanking on best of the best.
Oh, Eric Roberts movie from the 80s. Yeah, they're
I
like...
bet you I've seen the VHS cover.
There's like 4 or 5 sequels to this crazy fucking franchise too, but it's like... I forget, I think Chris Penn or somebody's on his list, on his team as well, and they fight either South Korea or North Korea in some competition of karate or judo or something. Yeah, but I remember that. I remember best of the best.
Sure, okay.
Yeah.
He just put an amazing fight scene and a surprise twist when not only does the hero lose, but then is rewarded for not killing his opponent by gaining a new brother.
Yeah.
The movie isn't great, but this ending is powerful.
Okay.
Number 9 is Quigley Down Under. Matthew Quigley versus the Ranchers. Is that full theatrical release or is that a TV
Oh yeah,
movie?
it was. I saw that in the theater. I remember.
Okay.
Tom Selleck, man.
Yeah, I remember Quigley Down Under.
I like Quigley.
Talk about an out of left field win. At no time in the film do we see Quigley touch a pistol, so for him to not only outdraw Alan Rickman, but 2 other people was hilarious and awesome.
True.
At 8, Tombstone.
Oh.
Doc Holliday versus Johnny Ringo. We waited the whole film for this scene, and it was so worth it. Come on. Was it the final battle, though?
Yeah, I don't know what Hassel's doing here.
Yeah. I'm thinking more final battles, and that is not the final battle.
No, it's not. The final battle is done by the train.
All right, Flashpoint. Donnie Yen versus Colin Chu.
Okay.
I have not seen this. Have you?
No.
Okay. It says, if this was martial arts fight scenes, this would be number 2 on the list. Just an amazing display of martial arts skills going through the gauntlet of various styles. It would be higher on the list if the film was better and the stakes were higher.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
6 is 7, The Detectives versus the Killer.
Ooh, interesting.
Okay. That to me would fall under what you were talking about before, where it's a different psychological battle.
Yeah. I agree with that.
I wouldn't put it on my list, but that one makes more sense to me.
It's a nice choice.
So The Villain Wins, just a shocking ending to a crazy movie that most certainly has generated one of the most quoted lines of recent cinema.
True.
Number 5, Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan.
Nice choice, man. Really wanted to put it in there, but there's no... I was so close, and I guess if I was leaning towards more of the ship aspect of it all, but it's so one-on-one versus Kirk and Khan, or Kirk and Spock versus Khan, than it is like the entire ship against the entire ship. It's more like that because Kirk is just the one giving out all the orders.
Okay.
And it's all like wading through the Mutara Nebula. So there's not a lot of actual interaction between them. It's more that they're just trying to trick each other in a I don't know, through being blind in walking blinded to each other. So whatever. But it's a nice choice. I wish I could have talked myself into it. I love that movie.
Okay. He said, just an intense and suspenseful confrontation between 2 brilliant minds in a sci-fi game of chess with spaceships.
Yep.
4 is Avengers Endgame.
There you go.
The culmination of 10 years, you just knew this was going to be good. Cap picking up Mjolnir alone was worth the journey, let alone everyone getting their time to shine. 3, A Few Good Men, Tom Cruise versus Jack Nicholson.
Huh. Interesting. Okay.
I mean, 2 acting powerhouses creating an intense scene without any kind of physicality. Gets me every time because there is a part of me that sides with Jessup.
Okay.
2 is Empire Strikes Back, Vader versus Luke. I know people want to say Return of the Jedi, but has the better fight scene with more stakes, but I say no. The saber fight is a hell of a lot more interesting, and the reveal by Vader at the end was just jaw-dropping.
Yeah.
Number 1, Way of the Dragon, Tang Long versus Colt. It had to be this fight scene. The top dog of any fight scene. But there you're saying fight scene.
Yeah.
Not battle scene. Battle has a different connotation.
Right.
You said final battle. I'm thinking,
You said final battles.
Exactly.
All right.
If he was the final boss, type of thing, and it's some
Right.
old video game, maybe I'll give you that.
Right.
It says the top dog of any fight scene. I know that modern films have gone so much farther with fighting, but there's just something raw and dynamic about 2 true martial arts trying to best one another.
Yeah, Chuck Norris and Bruce Lee, I think.
Woo-ta.
Woo-ta!
I got you all in check. That's more woo-ha, but, whatever.
Yeah.
Way to be Hasso. Thank you so much for
Thank you, Matt.
being our patron, actually, and helping us with the show and all that stuff. And you guys can join in on the fun, too, of picking a show. If you want to go to patreon.com/the top 10 with the number 10, we got all kinds of different levels, different shows. Topic Thunder, the classic shows, the relists,
Reviews.
shout-outs that are coming up here momentarily, all kinds of different stuff. We thank you to everybody that supports us over at patreon.com/the top 10 with the number 10.
Ooh, well done. You got a little afternoon DJ on that one.
Yeah, no problem. The repetitive things that we say all the time, baby. I can give you a little stinger. Get in, get out.
Get in, get out.
Let's move it along.
All right, let's do these shout-outs, man. Thank you to everyone who's donated. Was it a $5 and above level? We're giving you a shout-out like we do every month.
Correctamundo.
Let's do this thing.
Starting us off, looks like we're going alphabetical this month. I like it. Alex Zakos, changing things up a little bit.
Nice.
We're going with AJ Barrera,
Aaron Carroll.
Abby Lugo,
Adelardo Fuente.
Alex Ramsey,
Alex Russell.
Alexander Marzonia.
What's up, Alex? Aliyah Moore.
Ahmad Ali,
Andre Constantinescu.
Andres Mendoza,
Andrew Herbs.
Andrew Hayes,
Andrew Naley.
Andrew O'Day,
Andy Ortiz.
Andy Tan,
Angela Dashner.
Anthony Casanova,
Anthony George.
April Rybaggy,
Archie Bear.
Asa Denning.
Ashley Prowls.
AZ Badfish, a.k.a. Martin Tuttle.
Ben Quirk.
Ben Archambault.
Ben Cartwright.
Bernie Knapp.
Billy Gilliams.
Blair Simpson.
Blake Grant.
I think it's Gant.
Oh, sorry, Blake Gant.
Blake Jensen.
Blake O'Brien.
Bobby Carney.
Bobby Michael.
Brandon Monroe.
Brian Akins.
Cameron Belgrade.
Cameron Chapman.
Charlie McKenna.
Chelsea Lewis.
Chris Cabrera.
Chris Consiglio.
Chris Jones.
Chris Judge.
Shout out to the cops, or actually the ambulance going by in the background.
Yeah.
You said Chris Judge?
Yes.
Chris Lemke.
Christopher Brockman.
Christopher McIntyre.
Christos Alexakos.
Clay Williams.
Cody Seal.
Crushing those classes, Clay. Corey Trainer.
Corey O'Connor.
Cote Markham.
Cote Rexford Rex. Cote.
Rex. We got back-to-back Cotes.
I love it.
Dale Varley.
Dan Nye.
Dan Petraglia.
Dan Somerville.
Daniel Chaput.
Daniel McCarty.
Danielle Kelly.
Jay McMalloy.
Darren Bush.
David Gregson.
David Mitchell Baker.
Deborah Torres.
Dimitri Malote.
DJ Red Hot Cox.
Drew Burkhart.
Drew Enns.
Dwayne Joseph Burke.
What's up, Dwayne? Dylan Bueller Dempsey.
Dylan Johnson.
Dylan Yoon.
Ed Budskirk.
Edward Dobbins.
Ellis Menchaca.
Eric Bruin.
Eric Escott.
Eric Grebner.
Eric Stevenson.
Evan Bistrom.
Evan Zoller.
Frank Montoya.
Gareth Weldon.
Jeff Kelly.
George Menchaca.
Giancarlo Simonetta.
Grecia Romero.
Gunnar R.
Hans Eskelson.
Haley Morton.
Houston Bodley.
Ian Horner.
Ian Brick Beltran Lopez.
Isaiah Hoffman.
Jacob Pullen.
James Appleby.
James Leggett.
James Petty. James Petty.
James Trapani.
James Winstead.
Jason Liao.
Jeff Knutson.
Jeff Saliba.
Jen Kemp. Jen.
Jeremy Bowers.
My man Jeremy Metz. Our man Jeremy Metz.
JIC 317.
Jim Payne.
Jim White.
Yoon Jo Hyun.
Joe Fairley.
It's Joe Ibarra.
What up, Joe? Joey Anthony.
Johannes Schmidt.
John Dowse.
John Keefe.
Jonathan Caro.
Jonathan Chase.
Jordan Wiltshire.
Joseph Burtwhistle.
Joseph Viola.
Joshua Stetz.
Josh Lawrence.
Josh Mabry.
Josh Murphy.
Josh Polarin.
Josh Sachs.
Joshua Williams.
Joshua Wine.
Juan Reyes.
Or Win.
Win, yeah, it could be. Juan Reyes.
Johanna Lunaverta.
Julian Key.
Justin McDonald.
Justin David O'Neill.
Catherine Samuels.
Keith Archer.
Keith Below.
Keith Fitzgerald.
Ken Reels Snorlax.
Kevin Fuss.
Kevin Shaw.
Kristen Smith.
Kristia Veselcic.
Kristen Lundgaard Kjoler.
Kristen Kurtz.
Kyle Beckworth.
Kyle Feller.
Kyle Spahn.
Laura Deverson.
Lawrence Witt.
Louis Berrigan.
Louis Carizales.
Luke Allison.
Luke Larson.
Mackenzie Horner.
Magale Dore.
Mallory Garrett.
Marcel Behrman.
Marcus Davenport.
Mark Fawcett.
Mark Menchaca.
There it is. Matt Chipping.
Matt Hall.
Matt Hannigan.
Matt Simmons.
Matthew Hassel.
Matthew Kearns.
Matthew Lee Cravens.
Matthew Pullen.
Maurice Robinson.
Megan Björk.
MF Doom.
Michael McDade.
Michael Schmer.
Mike Barrington.
Mike Shea.
Mitchell Burrell.
Nathan Leonard.
Nathan Williams.
Neil Blackie.
Nick Francis.
Nick Dornoff.
Nicholas Smith.
Nizar Alabasi.
Noel Kelleher.
Pat Bulfamonte.
Patrick Campbell.
What's up, PJ? Patrick Mullen.
Paul Cree.
Peter Bellin.
Peter Ross.
Phil Morissette.
Phil Neglia.
Phil Renshaw.
Philip Lane.
Rachel Silvestrini.
Ravi Prasad.
Reagan Lubig.
Rice Seaborn.
Rob Harris.
Rob McDonald.
Robert Haley.
Bobo. Rodrigo Valverde III.
Roque Orellana.
Ruben Enriquez.
Ryan M. Brandos.
Ryan McKenna.
Ryan Nem.
Scott Lynch.
Scott Zarnecki.
Scott Kohler.
Seamus Braytag.
Sean Brennan.
Sean Scott.
Seth Shearer.
Shane Noble.
Simon Brouillard.
Spencer Freightway.
Stacy Flores.
Steve Schluckemeyer.
Stephen Anderson.
Stephen Armstrong.
Sujayanth Fernando.
The Blast from Our Past podcast.
The Cinephiles.
Thanks, Steve. Thomas Price.
It's an extra $5, Steve.
Hey-o.
Actually, $2.50. You only said your first name.
That's right, $2.50.
Thorsten Amuller.
Tim Begg.
Tim Franco.
Timothy Berg.
Timothy R. Williams.
TJ Daniels.
Tyler Spots.
Wayne Murphy.
Wiley Todd.
Will Morse.
Willie Logie.
Zirian Giggleson.
And finally, Mr. Zach Butts.
Zach Butts. There it is.
Thank you to each and every one of us. We are all fans of this show.
Truth.
Thank you to each and every one of you for supporting us on Patreon.
Yeah.
Once again, if you're listening to this and you want to get in on, we try and give back. We don't promise anything that we don't actively strive for and nail. So if you want to get the old shows, we got them up there. If you want to be part of the Realist, you can do that. You want to be part of Topic Thunder, you can do that. We try and be as interactive and build things into the nice people that said that they wanted to support us. So here you go.
Yeah.
Patreon.com/the top 10, or join us over at Facebook.com for that poll that we're putting up. Facebook.com/groups/the top 10 show with the number 10.
Yeah.
And you can follow me online at Matt Nost, MATTKNOST.
Oh, you can follow me at The Rocha Says on Twitter and on Instagram, and give a lot of love to everything we're doing. We really appreciate you all coming along with this journey now. We're into our 4th year, and we got some ideas, got some things we want to do. We're always trying to evolve with the show and bring it to more and more people. So thanks so much for coming along with us, and we'll talk to you next time on the Top 10 Show. Or did you want to say something else at the end there? Okay.
Nope, good to go.
All right, there we go. Bye-bye.